But it just goes to prove that running a steam engine these days is like running an old car. It doesn't matter if they're from the same make or model, you're never going to get two engines which are completely one for the blooper drill. I hate having a cold when I'm working.
In the First World War, the Great Central Railway's 8K280s were selected for mass production for what was then the Railway Operating Division. And the modern equivalent had to be something that was equally robust, strong and easy to build. The design of choice was the 8Fs, but construction was so blah. Okay. Wait for the service to go by. Bow, bow.
They weren't all that popular across the whole network. You see, while Eastern, Midland and Northern crews took to them fairly nicely.
Since 1902, the Great Western had been famous for building...
You see, while Eastern, Midland and Northern engine crews took to them fairly nicely, Western crews, who were only used to one kind of cab, hated anything that was different, especially those who worked out of Old Oak Common. Now, while it's fair to say that they took a... hell. Shush.
The design of choice was the 8Fs, but... oh, I keep getting that next bit. Demand was so great.
Between 1948 and 51, British Railways continued to build various...
They were basically Swindon's up...
Between 1948 and 51... Don't close up.
There we go. Stay in one place. Stay in one place.
So, BRs first? No. But what they did represent was a complete revolution in the concept of British locomotive operation. Damn it. Hello. Hello, you're friendly, aren't you?
Always one that interrupts.
No, you can't be in the video. What's your name? What's your...
Go again. Yeah, okay.
Go slightly wider,
All right.
because then it's a pull back to up. I'm thinking, why has it got a root disc? That's not a root disc, that's a script.
Now these included various Thompson and Peppercorn designs on the Eastern, various Midland designs... Oh, damn it. Sorry. Phlegm in the throat.
The idea of a mixed traffic 460 was a novelty, to say the least. But the London... damn it.
But it just goes to prove that running a steam engine these days is like running an old car. And I've forgotten the rest. Bollocks.
The idea of a mixed traffic 460 was a novelty by this point in time. But the GWR's old rival. Like the Black Fives, the 8Fs had issues with the frames. You see, because they were so thin and because the cylinders were so forceful, it weren't... bollocks.
But it just goes to prove that running a steam engine these days is like running an old car. It doesn't matter if they're from the same make or model, you're never going to get two ones which are completely identical. There's always going to be some which are better than others. I'm really struggling for breath.
You have to do a Clarkson. In the world.
The idea of a mixed traffic 460 was a novelty by this point, but the GWR's old rival, the London and South Western, had pioneered the concept on Robert Urie's H15 class 460s. And when the prototype machine was built in 1924, it would then undergo 3 years of testing. So it wouldn't... Second point needs doing again.
Shush. 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 Thank you.
Like the Black Fives, the 8Fs at age trapdoor monster.
But perhaps their rarity is the key to their exclusivity. Because they number less than the A4s, the Duchesses, and most of their older accounts.
Like the Black Fives, the 8Fs had issues with the frames. And I can't remember the rest of the bloody thing. Bollocks. Trim it there. By this point, the idea of a mixed traffic 460. Like the Black Fives, the 8Fs.
Chris, stop thinking about bollocks.
Railway historian O.S. Nock would often declare these engines to be much better at hill climbing than the Castles and the Kings. So it's hardly surprising on the line. Damn it. There was enough of these things knocking around for someone to then come up to me one day and say, I know, let's turn this into a Saint, without getting shot by angry purists. And I've forgotten the rest of the line, so... Cut it there. Honestly, Sam. There was enough of these engines knocking about for someone to then come along and say... One more time. Like the Black Fives, the 8Fs had issues with the frames. You see, because they were so thin and the cylinders were so forceful, they would crack. But unlike the Black Fives, these engines would get through about half as many miles. Boy, one word.
Half as many bollocks.
Stop it. Stop it. In short, there's plenty. If there was enough... Damn. Bugger. Now we'll get this right, you know. Like the Black Fives, the 8Fs had issues with the frames. You see, because they were so thin and the cylinders were so forceful, they would crack. But unlike the Black Fives, these engines would get through half as many miles before having such issues. Love it when I've got a colourful mouth, don't you? So that's the end of another year, and what a year it's been. We've reached 1,000 likes on Facebook, an interview on the Roundhouse podcast, I've been memed, I've been memed, a new volume, a new DVD, a new programme, The Train Now Starring. Now about that, some people have said that it's not quite as good as they were hoping for, some people say it doesn't work, some people say that we've been a bit juvenile about us reviewing films. Well, most of those people have kind of been the minority that haven't really got it. So to those people, I would say, okay, so you don't get it, and we apologise if you don't get it, but it seems the majority of people have enjoyed it so far. So thank you very much for tuning in. Your support is always appreciated. We do intend to do more, but we won't say what they are for obvious reasons. But all I can say is, watch this space, and we shall see. As will be the case with Soul Slip, and of course Steam Locos in Profile. Volume 2's come out, roll on Volume 3. Yes, about that. You see, basically the crew and I have been talking about how many episodes we can actually put out in a year. And we've kind of come to the conclusion that next year it's going to be a bit of a push to put another volume of 6 episodes out. We might be able to produce another 4 at most, without straining ourselves too much. I mean, you remember the times when we used to be able to put 4 episodes out in a year? That was fine. And yes, the programme is now paying for itself, but in a 12-month stint between September 2014 and September 2015, we managed to produce 8. So that's 6 that went on YouTube, and another 2 that went straight to DVD, the Board the Moaners and the Veil of Rydals. And that's kind of taken its toll on some of us, me especially. You know, despite the financial strains easing a little bit, the amount of energy that I've lost and the stress that I've incurred has been a little bit difficult to justify. So I'm going to try and slow down. I've even had advice from my doctor telling me to slow down. And for those of you who don't believe me, because I know there's armchairs out there, there's the doctor's certificate to prove it. So there's kind of your answer. So we're going to be slowing down a little bit. That does mean, however, that Volume 3 would come out in good time for the 5th anniversary of Steam Locos in Profile in 2017. So you've got that to look forward to. We haven't decided what the next special is going to be, but we shall have to wait and see. You know, there's lots of ideas being battered about, there's lots of logistics over where we can and can't go. We'll just have to wait and see. But for the time being, Steam Locos in Profile will recommence in the new year, with the first in a new series of online episodes going up in the end of January. But we're still not saying what it's going to be, so just tune in and find out. So yeah, I suppose that's all I've got to say right now. It only needs to be to say Merry Christmas, have a Happy New Year, and I'll leave you with a few clips of engines which could be seen, no guarantees, no promises, in the not too distant future. See you around.